So Jenny said, sad that my mum died so early and my boys missed out on her love. Yeah, that is sad, isn't it? I've watched some near-death experience videos, and there was a man who had a car accident, and he fell asleep driving, and one of his sons died and his wife died, and he had near-death experiences, and he came to understand that they had agreed in life that they would have this short life and they were okay with it. But it was very hard for him, and he, felt awful about it. And then he had one son that was left, and he met someone, so he went to this wife's grave to talk about it, and the impression he got was, "You're a great dad, but you're a terrible mother. My son needs a mother." Morning, Tabitha. And so, basically said the woman that he met was a good woman, and her son needed this woman to be his mum. And so he then adopted 2 children from a young mum that couldn't look after her boys. So he went on to do good things. So I think often we did know what we would sign up for, and I guess if we know that our existence happened long before we came to Earth and will continue afterwards, we will get to see these people again, and we will get to hug them and love them, and they will love us. And they still do love us and are aware of us, even if we cannot see them. Some people can feel them or have contact with them in other means. Right, age 2. So what happened when you were 2? Often it can be the next sibling, or sometimes we can have a health issue. Sometimes we can see too, like another experience I saw was a lady that she had had an awful divorce, and the dad and the husband hadn't been there for her kids. And, she was very sad about it. And she'd almost built like a prison around herself. And eventually she had to figure out how to get out of that to access the light. And so with it, she found that she was shown a vision of her grandson playing soccer and her son being there, admiring his son. And, God basically said to her, "You're seeing it as your kid missed out, but look at your child, look who's become and how he's a wonderful father." And so often the experiences that we have, although sad, do make us be better people, even though the difficulty we go through is not enjoyable or easy to get through. But there is great learning that happens through the sadness. All right. So next affirmation. This is still in the throat chakra. It's okay for me to tell my story. And I think that's part of the healing, that we actually tell our story, or we talk to someone that is willing to listen and talk about what we feel about the situation or how it goes, and, just kind of as we speak, we process. And sometimes we need to clear energy around whatever situation happens. The sad things that happen can really get stuck in our body or stuck in our mind or our energy field. Like if we talk about the sadness that you're feeling now, where do you feel it in your body? Sometimes it's in our chest, sometimes it's in our throat or in our stomach or in our head or in our back. Where do you feel it? So another affirmation in the throat chakra. I release the fear and doubt that blocks the way to my creative expression. And I think creative expression is very important for each of us to be able to get off our chest or our tummy. Thanks, Tabitha. She mentioned it's in her tummy. Yeah. Something from age 16 and 33. So sadness is in your eyes, Margaret. It's yes, seeing your mum go through things. Yeah, it is hard to watch, isn't it? You don't want them to suffer. So birth. I've never done it, but there is a technique called rebirthing, and people release what's happening or what happened from their birth that's stuck in their body. And I think with birth we had an understanding of what would happen, but I think also was intense to have a body, to feel things so strongly and have no power. Tabitha says, yeah, I feel this with my mum too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we loved our parents unconditionally when we were born, and yes, they're human, and yes, they've made mistakes, and yes, we're human, and yes, we've made mistakes, and yes, we will still continue to make mistakes. But as long as we learn through them, I think it's all good. All right, so cranial bones not correct. So we're just going to plug in a treatment so that we can treat your cranial bones. All right, age 16 again. So we're just going to look up some stuck emotions. All right, hurts where love is concerned. And, sometimes we can have been hurt by boys that we liked and they didn't know us, or friends, friendships with other women or men that we perhaps weren't fulfilled through. Okay, so a little bit of generational baggage from mum's mum hiding in the tummy. I easily see the lessons to be learnt from my challenges. So what are you learning from the difficulties that you're seeing? Okay, I see the pattern and release the need to use it. So, what is there a pattern that you're stuck in? Sometimes we get in the pattern of being a victim, or sometimes we can be in the pattern of punishing ourselves when things don't go correctly. Okay, the pattern of self doubt and fear. Oh, thank you, Tabitha. All right, so generational fear, dad's side, dad's mum, and the women. I live my life on purpose. So let's say I have confidence, calmness, and serenity. So generational pattern here preventing serenity. Mum's dad's side of the family. And the women. All right, so generational pattern here again, preventing us from living our life on purpose. So again, mum's side of the family, mum's dad's side of the family, and the women. All right, age 4 comes up. And some stuck emotions. Worried or bothered by lack of communication with others. Age 6. Feelings of being unprotected. Do you still feel unprotected? Sometimes we've always felt these feelings. Okay, so crown chakra. Anxiety. Yes, so Tabitha says, yes, she's always felt unprotected. Age 8 comes up as well. All right, an oil comes up here, which is jasmine. Yes, so, okay, yep, anxiety, yes. And for some people, it's a very common, thread in their life to feel anxious in difficult situations. So this is jasmine is about sexual purity and balance. So it says jasmine supports the resolution of sexual issues, encourages safety within intimate relationships, and invites only the purest intentions to the sexual experience. So I think yes, that could go with sexual experiences, but I think also too we learn our roles of female and male as children, in our families and how we see our family operate. So self acceptance also comes in here. So sometimes we could have felt that we weren't acceptable enough, or that we weren't good enough, beautiful enough, healthy enough, strong enough, whatever we felt we were lacking. Right, so not feeling like we're enough. I am enough doesn't hold. All right, there's another oil called Divana, which I have not smelt and don't have, but we'll read about it anyway and plug it in for you. Divana facilitates reclaiming personal power and belief in the ability to create healthier connections than in the past. It helps individuals to clearly invite what will serve and enhance their life and repel what weakens them and drains their life force. This oil imbues them with the confidence and courage they need to choose a life full of passion and purpose. Sounds ideal, doesn't it? So let's plug that in for everyone. So big breath in and out. Right, still in the crown chakra. I feel whole regardless of my circumstances. And it's hard to separate our value from what's happening around us, isn't it? Whether it's our bank balance, our weight, um, our connections, our work, and particularly as we get to the second half of our life, things can change and things can change rapidly, and then we can measure ourselves externally. But that really isn't a measure of us, is it? My electrical circuitry and brain chemistry work in harmony for my highest good. So how is your brain functioning? Do you feel like your brain's working optimally? Are there things that we need to help your brain function optimally? So some minerals come up. Molybdenum. We're just going to plug in as if we've given you some molybdenum, which is very calming. Also coming up a virus hiding in there. So viruses can be physical things, or sometimes we can have an emotional virus to do with what we're feeling or emotional situations that we're surrounded in. So, when we have experiences of sadness, as we process it, we may have our lungs come up or our sinuses, or we, might prevent ourselves from crying, or we feel sadness in our lungs. Or sometimes our throat. All right, I no longer fear rejection when I speak honestly. And, often as children, we can be rejected if we be very honest. And then we feel we have to be very guarded in what we say, or we have to think about, the things that we say and the effect that they have on others. I'm confident in the healing power of love to open my throat for greater self expression. And, if other people have rejected us, can we love ourselves anyway? Can we know that our intentions were good and that we are trying our hardest? And even if other people may not see it as successful or honor what we're doing, can we still respect ourselves that that's how it is? Age 6. The belief that I'm not supposed to be happy. And this can be very strong in families where they've lost a child. It's like the children that remain are almost allowed to be happy or to have a good life because of the child that missed out on life. And often the parents that have lost a child are very hurt and sad and damaged. And, the children that are remaining really can suffer because of this. All right, still more in the throat chakra. All right, I allow others their opinions and judgments. So some generational baggage attached to that from dad's mum's side of the family and the women. Yes. It's like over 40 generations. All right. I easily connect with life and the people around me. I'm worthy of connection. I honor being connected. I value my connections. So sometimes we can have entities that talk very badly to us and we think that it's us, but it's actually someone talking, as Kim would say, smack to us. So it's like we believe that we're not worthy of love or we're not worthy of respect. And I think the more we believe that, the more that other people can feel that we don't feel worthy, and we can attract meaner comments. So this goes back to age 2. And layers of the aura. Layer 4. Which is could be about, I think, relationships and bounds. This relates to the heart chakra, and it's the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Margaret, entities love hanging out with me. Yeah, I'm sure they do, because they know of the great goodness and wonderful love that you have. And when you have purpose, entities with all their might and power want to stop you. But sometimes I think we just got to dig our heels in and say, no, I'm doing it anyway. All right, male from age 16. And some stuck emotions with that. Feelings of self-condemnation. And I think being a teenager is really hard. We want to feel equal to the others. We want to feel same as others, but we also want to feel different from others. And there's so much conflict. And, getting used to a body that's changing, and it's a hard time. All right, faith. So faith is believing in things that perhaps we can't see just yet. Or we can't see the way that it can change. And yet things do change, don't they? Even though we don't, or we may not expect to. I choose to have faith in the universal earth school. And we kind of need that, don't we? We're all here. We've all got to learn. My faith is enough to see me through the toughest days of my life. And there are some pretty tough days, isn't it? There are some days that we don't even feel like we want to be alive, that it's hard and we don't feel good about ourselves or about a situation, or we wish that things were different in some way or someone had reacted differently. I have faith that my dreams will come to fruition. I have faith in a divine plan and let go of the need to be in control. And I think that is a hard one, isn't it? To let go of control. So now we're going in the solar plexus chakra. I'm mature and ready to progress with my life. I'm doing things on time. So I guess when we feel sad and we feel that we can't see how things can change or get better, even if we take baby steps towards what we hope would be different, I think it still helps us. And even a baby step is still taking us closer to what we want and strengthening us. Each step that we take strengthens our faith and our resolve. All right, so some sadness in our genes from dad's side of the family, dad's dad, both men and women. And some stuck emotions in our genes. Unresolved jealousies. And sometimes we think other people have a better deal than us, and maybe parts of their package are better, but is all of their package better? Would we actually change it? Okay, back in the brown chakra. I am insightful. And sometimes the experiences we have, we mightn't have liked them, but there's something powerful that we've learned from these experiences that really stand us in good stead today. And we couldn't have learnt it any other ways. It's not just something someone could have told us. It's like we had to experience it. I live my life on purpose. I easily cut through any illusion and find the truth. Um, Another near-death experience that I watched talked about a lady that saw that when she was in a shopping, um, the checkout line, the lady in front of her didn't have enough money, and she's sort of trying to scratch out to take things out, but they were all things that she needed for herself. And so the lady behind offered her the money to, to make up the difference, and it wasn't a big amount, it was something like 70 cents. And, she got to see then that from that experience, this woman became someone that worked in a food bank and helped other people. So it's like that small action that she did had profound effect and changed this woman's life. And so each of us, do these small acts of kindness and service in our lives, and we may not know the ramification of that. And so, whenever you feel prompted to do good, do it. Doesn't matter if you think it's silly or little or won't make a difference, do it. Because if it makes a small difference to that one person, often that'll make a difference to someone else. So we need to do it. And the other side of this same lady's experience was she was critical of one of the nurses that she worked with. And what she understood was that this nurse, when she had this near death experience, had been through some horrible experiences and yet had chosen to be in a profession of giving. And so she never actually criticized the woman, but she felt badly towards her. And so she was shown how her bad feelings towards this other nurse had affected her. So it's like how we think and how we think are often just contained within us, but they're not. We send out a signal. And so it's like if we can't send out a signal of goodness or love, people read what that signal is, even if our mouth doesn't say it. Those people still feel what we're sending out. So it is hard when we feel this sadness and we feel hurt and betrayal to be able to forgive. But I think that puts more incentive on us to pray for forgiveness and pray to be able to forgive, to be able to let go of the things that have happened that are hurtful. Because really, we don't want to be tied back to that event. We want to be able to move forward. Okay, so let's checking in with people's sadness. How are our eyes? How's our tummy? Is there anywhere else that's got sadness stuck? Any other experiences that are stuck? Just by way of announcement, we have our next Energy Works is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of June. Oh, thank you, Tabitha. She said good. Thank you so much. If you're in town, we have our next get together on the 13th of May. And thinking about a small retreat, where would we like to go? I've had a suggestion for somewhere warm. So would we like to travel? Okay, Margaret said better, thanks. Okay. Anyway, food for thought. Send me a message if you have any thoughts about it. And that's in July, so 13th to the 15th. All right, thank you for those persisting on the call. Sorry we had to chop and change at the beginning, and hope that you are able to feel a bit lighter after clearing some energy. Anyway, love to you all. Bye.